Alright, welcome again to Liasu Clan. This is another episode where we'll talk about real life experience with practical examples from our wonderful guests. And today we're having somebody who is a creative leader mentis and also very, very key in communicating with people. And in fact, he has a very awesome communication skill that will make you want to learn more about your life. Like I'll think about it. So today we have Mr. Emmanuel Adele. I'm biting my mouth, sorry. Emmanuel Adele Ayomide, also known as Sapiens. Popular known as Sapiens in our vicinity, Liasu. So today we want to talk about the future of work in tech or work in design space or in the modern space, right? So we're talking about how this one question affects everybody. Does working remotely actually impact collaboration? Does it impact it, or does it make you less collaborative or more collaborative? Or is it just there behind the screen doing our thing with clear directives? So we also want to dive right in. Someone who's experienced in work, I'm sure you've worked in teams before and you've worked on your own solo most of the time. So we want to have your own idea on this. So to be fair, working remotely means you're not working in an office space necessarily. You're working at home or in a workspace of your choice or a hub where you have live internet and working and doing your thing for a certain period of time. That's hence working remotely. So everyone praises remote work for its flexibility, no commutes, more time, greater freedom. But the real question is, does remote work foster true collaboration or just an efficient task management, or what's your own personal experience? What do you think?
Okay, so thank you for the wonderful way. That was actually nice. So for my own, so I have to share based on my experience. I believe working remotely is very, very effective for me. Yeah, also I believe that I remember there was a time like that I would have to wake up as early as 5 a.m. just to catch up with the bus. And by evening when coming again, I'm still struggling for buses like to get. Yeah. And sometimes even while working there in the office, I tend not to meet up with some tasks for the day. And while I was still going in there, I remember my team lead should be reaching out to me. Hey, also, I don't know design. Meanwhile, the design itself, I've not even gotten into work. So for me, working remotely is actually comfortable and it's conducive. And I believe the measures that have been put in place, like for people to work now, we have organizations that do stand-up calls at the end of the week. They do it every morning sometimes, some maybe twice or thrice in a week, just to see how far each members of the team have gone. So I believe working remotely is actually quite effective, depending on the system.
Okay. So you address the issue of transportation, the time taken to transportation, the time taken to actually get the job done or work better. So my question is now does it affect your communication skill? Does it make you less collaborative or just more to hide the emotion or something?
Okay, so working remotely to me it is actually good as a designer, because as a designer you need to work creatively, and you need a creative space. You have to be, in my own point of view, you understand, some people they might be able to live like that, but I believe you are not supposed to be caged in a place whereby they just give you this is where you are staying. You understand? To work. You understand? Because you need to think creatively. And sometimes when you have to work with people, probably you have people in the hall and everything. This one can come, maybe one of your colleagues can come and say, okay, that design is looking nice. Can we carry it like this? And now when you come in from carry that image there. This one, before you know it, you get tired of the design. You understand? So working remotely for me, I have tried out different concepts. Then it is now left for me to now start sending. By the time I send one to the team and they say, okay, can we have a better one? I already have something else. Do you understand? So I feel working creative, as a creative, it is good when you work remotely, depending on your location. So where I stay and where the organization is, the distances, something that I actually work with.
Okay, so the other thing now is I want to be small limits, Now it's usually framed remote versus office online. People think that maybe being in the office is a big deal. It is a very hard place to work because where there's internet. I think we have 5G now in Lagos. of recent times is affecting the schedule. So now, what is the future? People are saying that the future now is hybrid. You understand? People believe that hybrid is not the best place or the best move for most businesses. So from your experience, do you think international, like intentional, like in-person meetups, like team off-site meetings, study sessions, even celebrating the little wins or big wins, can make a remote team stronger? Do you think?
Okay, so in my own opinion, you understand? So I really emphasize on my own opinion because we think is actually different. Okay, so it depends on the level of the. Exactly. So I'll suggest hybrid system because it is good for every member, or let me just say every individual in the team to come together to meet, to coexist together in the office, you understand? Because I feel that way they get to have personal relationship, they get to know themselves better. Where everybody just has to appear remotely, and even in some stand-up calls, most people tend to switch off their phones. You understand? Like they don't want the camera, you understand? But you see with the help of coming to the office once or twice in a week, I feel everybody can catch up together and they can know themselves individually. So that's for startup.
Okay, so another question is so what's that one hybrid practice you've seen or you'd love to see more companies adopt?
Hybrid practice. So what I will say is I remember then when I was still working for an organization like that, so I did it once. And I would join once a week and the rest I'm not at. And it was sure twice. So I think it is very, very good when we have a number of days dedicated to all workers coming together for startups. Okay. Because it will encourage teamwork, communication. That is whereby my have to go and deliver some things and probably want to talk about something. We can go for sightseeing as a team and coming together as a during break, everybody has to eat and everything. So I believe it is actually nice. So we can look for days like twice or so and give it to the team members to come and look for startups.
If I'm getting it clearly, so that means the crux of it or the core thing is communication, good time management system, or SCP system.
Yeah, exactly.
It proves the growth of the hybrid.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, just communication and
okay, so let's not go into the part. No, maybe future work is not like the future of work isn't work per se, but designed for connection, it's designed to what's one tool, system, culture shifts, people really believe that those things affect a workplace. But I think it's not the individual. Me, but I think an individual affects how your workspace or your workplace goes well or efficiently or optimally. If people they are not blending together, they don't give output, the output of the work to the trash.
Sorry, I did not.
So if people don't communicate or work together well in an organization, even whether it's highly or remote, I don't think they will deliver well.
Yeah.
You understand? So what's that one thing you feel like team go beyond just delivering tasks and actually living together? So my question now is what's that one thing that you think would make working remotely more comfortable? Because you're working with people, you do not know their dispositions or so what would make it better? What do you think to you now? What is that one thing that you think, okay, they're adding to you right now to make your work better, to make working with people, collaborating with people much more efficient?
Okay, so you see, it is communication skill. Communication skill, it actually goes a long way.
Okay.
Now, I remember that when I started working, I studied communication, you understand, so I believe I should be good. But when I got to the field of working, like practicing my communication skill, I found that then I remember I had some things that I bottled up in mind. And I could not even say due to the fact that I don't know how to approach it. I don't know how to tell my need. And over time I got frustrated. And sometimes I tell me certain things, okay, this thing that you've done is actually nice, but can we have it this way, can we have it this way? That was there, you understand? So I could not communicate the thoughts behind my designs, you understand, of which I developed a lot of let me just say a lot of anger or annoyance, yes, for those people that were actually working. But I thought they didn't like me. That was why they were just telling me that you can have this one with you. You understand? And then which one is the back and forth? If people don't like me, just let me know. Meanwhile, they'll just give me their feedback. You understand? And some days too, that I'll be having light issue. Instead of me to tell the team ahead, I won't be able to do that. Do you understand? So even there was a day I remember I was supposed to deliver a design very in the morning around 10 a.m. But I had light issue and I was trying to fix my genset, I could not. Instead of me to communicate ahead to the team, I did not. And when I was giving a full agent, I got annoyed. I got annoyed. Are these people not human? I feel they should understand the circumstance. But I was wrong, you understand, because I did not put myself in their position. When I did not communicate, how did I expect them to know? So communication is a very, very vital key that everybody, both working remotely and hybrid, should know. So while you're working with a team, communication skill is very, very, very important.
So that brings me to another question. Okay. So we've established communication, look at how understanding can affect an individual,
yes,
also affects the team as a whole. So look at it now. So what do you think that the real challenge is for human beings? So we can, because if we are connected on a fairly deeper level, I think we will do better as human beings. So in workspace, so what would you suggest to foster that kind of understanding and effective communication? Because I've seen teams where that the lead is just like the level of don't come to me unless there's a problem, or don't come and get feedback unless there's an issue. And I feel whereby some people that they will not give feedback until upon of the stress of doing what you think is a good job. So how do you think they can bring that down and make it so that everybody is able to communicate with the person, regardless of position?
Okay, sorry, so let me just rephrase the question so I'm sure I understand. So you were saying that what is that thing that
you think you bring it into the office or in a hybrid office, right? That would make it easier so that every single person have a good open channel to talk with everybody, regardless of their position in the company.
Okay. Alright, so there was this book I was reading like that. Okay, so I think it's the So I think what I learned there for me is having this kind of opening or this kind of platform that everybody can reach. So there shouldn't be a system whereby it is only social person that must talk to the to the CEO.
Okay.
You understand? In as much as the CEO is within the organization, you understand? So there should be like an open platform where everybody can speak. Okay. So ideas should not go through the lead because over time I say that by the time you communicate to Mr. A, before it gets to the end, you understand, it might have been refined to understand that what you are even giving out is not what the person is saying. So there should be like an open platform where everybody can come together and have that discussion.
So basically I say like a think tank.
Exactly. So for you to express yourself.
Okay, so what's that one challenge you faced while working remotely that's affected your collaboration with other team?
Okay, so like I said, the only challenge I faced was just communication.
Just communication.
Yeah. Punctuality I was always going, despite the transportation issue and everything. You understand?
Okay.
But that communication is a very, very key thing that actually stood out for me.
So this is a trick question, like more of one or the other one, is that A or B? So do you think when you are brainstorming as a team or together, which one do you like? Online brainstorming or on-site brainstorming?
So is it that I have to choose one?
I have to choose one.
I have to choose one.
I have to choose one.
So if I have to choose one, the one I have to choose now is online brainstorming. Why? Okay. So if I'll be choosing online brainstorming is this. The ability for me to think from my own creative aspect without seeing you. Understand? Like when we gather together and I have some talk and everything. While I'm still creating, they might be coming and say, okay, what are you doing? Which it can affect my own thinking this thing. You understand? And when I'm done with my thoughts and I've gathered everything together, then we come together, probably a meeting or a call, and I start putting it out. I feel that one works better. And when we have to be together and while still while still refining my thoughts, my ideas. And one of my colleagues is saying, no, I don't think that's going to work. No, I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that actually works.
Okay. So you're telling that you don't want that, you don't like it because so much connection, people just trying to connect at the same time.
Yeah, when it comes to brainstorming for
yeah.
this, so I believe you should work on your own and work on my own.
Okay.
Then we'll come together and see what we've done so far.
Okay. Okay, so I have a question. So do you have any like experience of where you have worked in a team or a lead that, as you said, online, and worked really well for you? Can you like share a brief experience? Like, do you have any team the experience that their working ethic was just perfect for you?
Talking about that would be the Liasu Clan team, and also the collaborate, you understand? So when we teach collaborate, then I remembered that everybody, it was just on deck. You don't have to reach out to it before you can get this. No, everybody had an assigned task of which everybody did follow. You understand? Right from the project manager to the campaign designer to everybody. You understand? So you don't have to reach out to or call down and look, can we have this or you are not online now, maybe there's something you should know. Everybody was just doing it and it was a perfect one.
If I do say so myself, I'm not just now on the phone, within our behalf, the other client will very community to be in anybody I work on. So I have like one more question.
Alright.
Okay. So if you could redesign, like if you could rearrange, reposition the way remote teams work, what is the first thing you would change?
That's so I would probably put in measures of giving feedback about electricity and network.
Okay.
So if you are working remotely, you know this is what your job, this is what your job needs. You need electricity. So you now being able to deliver a task due to electricity, I don't think you are actually prepared to work remotely.
Okay.
Because I remember then that my boss told me, Mr. Michael, was like, now invest in motors, second thing now buy generator, and make sure you have petrol. You understand? Because sometimes they'll reach out to you, and you that are working remotely definitely will pay you well. Yeah. Because all the ticket and everything is out of it. So you should find a way, probably talk to the organization, they should get a space like Layoff. We have them on this role of Liasu Clan and when we use. So lights is always stable 24/7. So you can always, so they have monthly plan, we have weekly, it depends, you understand? So you can look for a work, like a workspace around your place too. Where you can always go to where there's lights.
So you are saying that you have like A plan, B plan.
Yeah, exactly. So you see that electricity should not be an excuse. And that network issue too should not be it should not even be. It should not even be something that you say, my network is not bad, that was why I could not attend online meeting. But I've seen situations whereby you just off network or Google Meet. You know that you just off it and just let people think that probably is experiencing challenge. Meanwhile, it's a lie, you're not experiencing. So I would definitely put very strictly on it that okay, if you are working remotely, no network fluctuation and no electricity issue from you.
Okay,
Don't even do
that's
that.
not an excuse.
That's not an excuse.
Okay. Fair. So now what advice, that was for the workers, people want to work as.
Yeah, exactly.
So now this one now is to the leaders, alright? So think of it, that's why it's deep.
Yeah.
Let me drum this one.
I think I need to package myself very well.
What advice would you give leaders trying to build stronger collaborative cultures remotely? What advice would you give them? A strong collaborative culture remotely. So
the advice I would give is probably to help workers, you understand, there should be a system where workers can always learn in terms of improving communication skill. Okay. So most people see communication as something that it's not for me to speak English, it's beyond English. So I feel there should be like a course where people can learn. They need to understand emotional intelligence in their life. They need it, you understand? So courses like that should be fixed. Okay, so there should be constant courses to improve. Okay, and secondly is probably getting or asking ahead of time. Okay, so how well do you have light, like electricity? You also do deep research about the vicinity that person is staying.
Okay.
Because if I agree now to work with you for 50,000 a month, and I stay in a place where there is no light,
okay,
and I'm working remotely, please, how do I cater for the petrol? Because all of these things are thoughtful things that we have to do. So probably they should have proper research regarding the vicinity the person is staying.
Okay.
Like here now, Liasu, you know, we have lights like 24/7. Even when it goes off, you are always sure that God will soon restore the light. Unlike some other places that they might be on the street like 3 days no lights, 4 days no lights, 1 week no lights. You understand? So there should also be questions regarding petrol or something, or do you have a workspace around? So there's a workspace, they can look into probably paying monthly for them to avoid any excuse.
Okay, so basically, I get it right, an allowance to cater for that plan B and C.
Exactly.
Okay, so now, okay, now this is another one. I think everybody would like to hear this one. If you could design your ideal remote/hybrid model for your team, what would it look like? Remote/hybrid.
Hybrid. So they go together.
They go together. Design what the perfect model in your head for your team if you want to work.
I don't think there's a perfect model.
To you.
To me, yeah.
To you, not a perfect model.
Yeah, I don't think. But what I know is when people are committed, all you need is just people that are committed in the team.
Okay.
People that will be free from excuses.
Okay.
People can give excuses, but you see, there are people that they are always ready to get the work, no matter how crazy it is. You understand? Because I remember then, you continue apart from there. So while I was still working there, in control network is very, very bad. Like the area where I use, the network there is bad in terms of using MTN or anything. But I remember that someone told me that Glow was very, very good. So what I did was I got someone who was in Africa and we share those points. You understand? So when I speak to the person would understand. So over time I said, okay, I don't think I'll be going there. Study is in another place. I just feel excuses should not be something that people should also work with. And that communication skill is something that I will make mandatory. If you know we are working on the project together and you can't meet up due to, this is life, anything can happen. Anyone can lose anybody or something tragic, but find a way to communicate ahead. Ensure nothing ruins the plan of the team.
Okay.
So communication is a very, very key thing. A very, very key thing that I will still keep on in emphasis on. If you know you can meet up, delegate or assign the tasks to someone in the team that you know that the person can cover up, or you should tell ahead. This is the problem I'm having. Let's see how we can have like plan B ahead of time.
Okay, so this is like a quick follow-up, like directly, so I don't look like offloading the man. So if I'm getting it right, we basically said that the key things that we need to have to work remotely or excel remotely one is this physical setting. The physical being steady lights. Just a good quality light and a strong network wherever you're working from.
Sure.
So the intangible not being number one, communications. You have a very solid communication skill. Number two, to have very good understanding.
Exactly.
Number three, able to take feedback. Take feedback of criticism.
Okay.
The last one being that being able to articulate your problem or issue you're facing.
I also spoke about emotional intelligence.
And then it's emotional intelligence. Yeah, because I kind of think that people, me personally, do not really hear how it's delivered. I just listen to what's being said instead of how it's being said. Because human beings, they have problem with how something is said than what's actually said. Even if it's the truth, the way you present it can come up very, very wrong.
Yeah.
Like something like you say something like, "Wow, thank God, he just came back. He just coming on time." You wonder. It might look like they're praising, but how we came in, it look like something important like they doing it home and just coming on time. I can say, "Wow, really someone that doesn't care about you." So you might think, okay, Jabi, the way it was being said is not the problem, was how it was said.
Yeah, exactly.
So I kind of feel like there's a fine line between those two, the how and what was said. There's a fine line.
Yeah.
So if you're not about emotional intelligence to you, how would you be able to make your own belief to your team understand that there is a fine line between offending somebody and actually, telling the truth.
Okay. So one thing everything should encourage is being grants. You understand?
Okay.
Like when someone is doing it well, let the person know that the person is doing it well.
Okay.
When someone is not doing it well, let the person know that okay, this thing we are doing, I'm doing it well. You understand? But you see, there are ways to approach situations like that in such a way that the person does not get what offended. You understand? I remember years ago, I remember I called my boss there. So I needed help regarding pricing or something. So I dropped a message already on WhatsApp. I had to call. At some point, he asked me because he told me something. He said, you need to learn how to be emotional, like how to be emotionally intelligent. He said it. So when he said that thing, I was like, that was the first time I heard that. Yeah, that was the first time. I would never like, I'm like, so I started reading about it. You understand? There are ways to which you approach situation. Okay, fine, you've done something as a designer, you understand, and it's not looking good. And I come to say, what's this? This is trash now. You understand? Now, you as a designer, I want you to come up with something better. You understand? But you see, the fact that I've said this is trash, what you have probably walked through over the night and you're saying this is trash. So if you are not someone who can handle your own emotion very well, there will be a problem. You might not see, you'll be scared of the job, so you won't be able to handle it properly. Okay. But there's a way I will come to you and say, wow, you've actually done something nice here, but I feel this thing can be better. What if?
Oh, so that's.
You understand? So don't just come in with the problem. You understand? Come with the solution. Okay, check this other brand. Look at what they've done. Okay, look at this design now. You understand? So there should be a way you can approach it such a because if you were to be the one in that position, you might not be able to do it. To take the feedback you are giving to that person.
Oh, okay. So basically, that the word in the Bible that says, "Not be known by yourself."
Exactly. So before you say something to someone, ask yourself that okay, this thing that I'm about to say, or this thing that I'm about to do. Imagine you are reaching out to a team member around 12 a.m. You understand? So now imagine what if the person is married and probably with a family and so. Now put yourself in the that okay, if I were to be this person, how would I have felt? How would my wife? You understand? So you have to look at all of these things before you act. So that's part of being emotional intelligence.
Okay. So this is a very big thing. I think I can relate to most of the things the same. So guys, you're listening. I suggest everybody take a course, a very wonderful course on communication skill. Look into emotional intelligence, deepen your level of understanding when you're dealing with people. It helps you go a long way in life. So before we call it a day, do you have anything you want to chip in? Like food for thought.
Alright, so the only thing I was still talking about is still communication. You see that actually stood out for me because I learned the hard way. Yeah, trust me. Okay, I remember that the job there, I have to let go of the job. Okay, the job there, I have to let go of the job because I remember there was a change in HR, and that was my first job as a designer. You understand? It was my first job, but I did not. Most of these things that were in my job description, you understand? We had most of the corrections because I told the person, okay, the HR there that okay, this I cannot work with this, I cannot work with this, but it was not updated and. You understand? There was no correction on the document. So what I did was I just signed what you had there. So when the new HR came in, you understand?
Yeah.
He was just working with what was on the listing, of which hybrid was what I signed before. They made coming to office every day compulsory for me. You understand? So at some point I was frustrated because the salary was not even enough, you understand? Yeah. So at the end of the month, I spent more than the salary, you understand, for my transportation. So I had to live from the job. But I left out of frustration, but there are ways to tackle such issues. If I had communicated rightly, probably through mail or doing stand-up call with the CEO, because he's always available with us. Yes. So if I had communicated my thought that, okay, so this is the challenge I'm having, this is instead of writing a resignation letter, you understand? Instead of doing that, I would have probably handled it from a communication expert aspect. You see, that was why I left the job. Nothing else aside from the communication skill.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Mr. Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, I like Sapiens. Sapiens is better to remember. Leave my mouth alone. So thank you, Sapiens. Thank you guys for watching. Do well to tune in the next episode. So please like, comment, share, subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.